Hey everyone, welcome to this deep dive all about sports. We've got quite the collection of sources here.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing from like the basics all the way to, global events even.
Exactly, and we're going to really unpack it all. So by the end of this, you'll be like that friend everyone goes to for sports trivia.
I like that.
So one of the sources breaks it all down into these different categories of sports. And it's not just like team versus individual. It gets really specific, like invasion games. Did you know that was the thing?
Invasion games?
Yeah, like basketball, soccer, where the goal is to literally invade the other team's territory. Does that, I don't know, change how you view those games at all?
Hmm. It is interesting to think about it that way. I guess when you watch basketball, it's all about those quick passes, right? Like creating those openings. But
Yeah.
then you've got soccer, which can be a lot slower, more about just controlling the ball, waiting for the right moment to strike.
Oh, totally. Like chess, but with more running.
Uh-huh.
And then on the flip side, you've got what they call net and wall games, tennis, volleyball, that kind of thing.
Oh, right. Where it's all about angles and using the net or wall to your advantage.
Yeah, completely different strategy involved. And all the equipment, too. Like you mentioned before, we were talking about how a tennis racket, even the type of court surface can totally change the game.
Yeah, the tiniest details can have a huge impact.
It's kind of mind-blowing,
Yeah,
right? Like how much goes into mastering a sport. It's not just about being strong or fast.
definitely not. There's so much strategy and technique involved.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Okay, so before we get too ahead of ourselves, I think we need to cover some basics, like just the lingo. We've got a ton of sources here with glossaries and definitions and whatnot.
Good idea. It's important to understand the rules too,
Yeah, for sure.
not just as like restrictions, but as a framework, like how they shape the whole game.
Yeah,
One of the articles talks about baseball, the infield fly rule. Have you heard of that one?
vaguely. I know
Uh-huh.
it's super complicated.
Right, but it's actually there to prevent a team from like cheating, basically stopping them from dropping the ball on purpose to try to get more players out.
So it's about fairness.
Exactly.
Makes you wonder, though, are there any rules in other sports, like football or basketball, that you think really changed how the game is played?
Oh, yeah, tons of examples. Actually, one that comes to mind is the three-point line in basketball. You know, when they added that?
Oh, back in the day?
Yeah, late 70s, it totally changed the game, made it faster, more exciting.
More points, too.
Right.
So basically revolutionized the sport just by adding a line.
That's wild. Okay, so that kind of leads us to the next level. Leagues, competitions, tournaments. We're talking everything from like local rec leagues all the way up to the Olympics.
Its whole system.
It is like a pyramid almost.
One of the sources describes it that way. You start at the bottom with, local games, and then it gradually narrows towards the top.
Yeah.
Like professional athletes. Oh, I like that picture. The pyramid. It's like a filter almost. The best players rise to the top. But then what about everyone else? Like those who don't go pro? What's their role in all of this?
That's a great question. I mean, the majority of people playing sports aren't professionals, right?
True.
Yeah.
It's kids in little leagues, adults playing for fun.
Exactly. And those are the foundations. That's where passion for sports starts. You
Mhm.
learn the basics, you learn about teamwork, sportsmanship, all that.
So it's about more than just creating pro athletes.
Yeah, it's about building a love for sports, for being active.
I like that. Okay, so it's not just about winning trophies.
Not at all. It's about community too, you
Hmm.
know? Those Friday night lights, high school football games, local soccer clubs, those bring people together. It's a shared experience.
It really is more than just a game at that point, right? It's like a whole cultural thing.
Right.
Which actually brings us to those massive global events like the Olympics, World Cups. Those are huge moments.
Definitely. Those are the ones that capture everyone's attention.
And they go beyond just sports.
Yeah.
They become these big cultural moments.
Absolutely. One of the sources talks about the history of the Olympics
Hmm.
and how they've been used for political statements or even like promoting peace and challenging social norms.
Like back in '68, the athletes protesting on the podium. That was a powerful moment.
It was.
Shows how sports can be about so much more than just the game itself.
And then you have those individual moments too, like Usain Bolt shattering the world record in 2008.
Oh, yeah. Everyone was watching that.
It unites people, from all over the world. It's inspiring.
For sure. So what do you think makes those international events so captivating? Is it the scale, the national pride, the personal stories?
It's probably a mix of everything. The scale is definitely impressive.
Thousands of athletes, different countries,
Weeks of competition, it's mind-boggling. And then there's the human drama.
the underdogs, the
Uh,
comebacks, the rivalries.
Exactly.
You never know what's going to happen. Plus, you get people from all over the world coming together.
Sharing their cultures. It's
Yeah.
pretty amazing. It is. It's a showcase of athletic achievement, too. You know? Pushing the limits of what's humanly possible. And speaking of which,